evening. With the emergence of CBET currently being rolled out in all the CBET institutions, I felt it's prudent to discuss or have series of videos just discussing on the competency-based education and training. So how best do you understand CBET in the context of content delivery, industry alignment, and many other principles? So I'll be doing a series of videos that is going to inform some of the issues that surround CBET. As we know, this is what we are currently implementing for some of the institutions, and it's best we share knowledge, experiences that we have. So in all this series of videos that you're going to have on weekly basis, I intend to cover all the 7 principles in details, to discuss and see how best we can realign the training. Of course, we are coming from knowledge-based education and training, the so-called CBET to CBET. Therefore, we're going to look at all the aspects of CBET when it's come to delivery and many other aspects. So in this video today, I want us to look at just briefly what CBET is all about, and what are the principles that surround CBET approach. So we all understand that CBET briefly is defined as a competency-based education and training that focuses on the ability to perform a duty or a task that is given based on certain standards. And therefore, initially we were focusing so much on the knowledge, forgetting the other aspect of skills and attitude. Again, in our series of videos, we're going to see how we are able to incorporate life skills in CBET. And therefore, from where we are coming from, the CBET to CBET, we are coming from knowledge-based education, the 844 system, to now CBET, skill-based training. We are going to focus on ability of a learner to be able to perform tasks, and that's where we are. So in defining CBET, you need to look at it in that perspective of a learner gaining skills to be able to do work. And therefore, we are coming away from the knowledge-based education to the CBET competency-based education. And therefore, when you're looking at the CBET itself, is anchored on 7 principles that we are going to discuss and unpack each principle in deep. And therefore, the first principle of CBET is industry alignment, that all the training that we conduct should be market driven. So all our curriculum that we are developing should be based on demand in the market, and how best are we able to conform to the industry requirements. So what means that whatever course we are training on should conform to industry requirements, and therefore we'll see how best we're able to align industries in our curriculum. Another principle that we're going to discuss is on clear measurable learning outcomes, and this focuses on what learners need to know, and you're able to measure progress towards their goal. So anytime you'll be doing the content delivery, you need to factor issues of clear measurable outcomes. So for each lesson or each topic or each session, we need to focus on measurability of our learning outcomes. So again, we're going to look at that and unpack them. Another principle principle of CBET is the relevant learning activity and resources. And you'll be focusing on training resources, also looking at active learners activities. So another principle of CBET is learner-centered approach. Now that we have to focus on an individual learner other than on a group, we'll be looking at classroom activities that bring about active participation. Yeah. So we're coming from a trainer-centered approach to learner-centered activities. And here we're looking at trainee becoming the center stage of a curriculum. Another principle is inclusive learning environment. And when I talk about inclusivity, is learners have dynamic characteristics, and therefore how do we incorporate inclusivity in our learning environment? And here we'll be looking at providing variety of learning opportunities that will create safe and supportive environment. So we'll be discussing related issues with the universal design of learning, the UDL, and many other approaches that bring about inclusivity. Last but not the least is assessment of learning outcomes. We realize CBET is about assessment, because you need to assess the skills. So we'll be focusing on formatives and summative assessments, and most importantly, feedback that you need to give after these assessments. So you need to assess all our learning outcomes. We also have another principle on reflective teaching practice. When you're talking about reflective teaching practices, as a trainer, you need to focus on every session that you take. You need to reflect what you've taught, or the learning outcome being met, purposely for personal improvement, and of course to understand your strength, your weaknesses, and the opportunity that exists. So you need to conduct your SWOT analysis so that you're able to reflect on the session that you have just concluded with the learners. So if you look at all this, it is an all-around approach on how you need to look at CBET. And therefore, we'll be unpacking all these principles bit by bit so that we are able to understand all the aspects. So if we start on industry alignment, when you talked about our curriculum being aligned to the industry demand, what is the understanding? The understanding is a process of ensuring that educational programs that we offer and our curriculums are aligned with the needs of the workforce. And there was importance to factor industry in mind when you're developing these courses. And that means that students have the learning, the skills, and the knowledge that they need to be successful in their chosen careers. And that's how we're able to ensure industry is incorporated in our curriculums. And of course, there are benefits that surround aligning our curriculums to industry, and that we'll be looking at the learners levels, and of course at the employer level, and the educational institution. And how do we gain from aligning our curriculum to the industry requirements? In this case, for the learners, we are looking at skills needed by the employers. So we are going to train specific skills that are in high demand, and that will create job opportunities and many other aspects of required skills. Another benefit for the learners is it's going to they're going to make informed decisions about their careers. Because if you are training on a particular skill, then you are sure of jobs or employment, or even self-employment, so able to make informed decision about your career goals. Another one for the learners is going to increase chances of employment, because you're training on specific industry required skills, and therefore there are job opportunities that are there at the time you're training for these courses, and that will increase chances of employment. Of course, there are many other benefits. For the employer, we are looking at they will find already qualified employees. In that sense, then we are looking at employer reducing cost when it comes to pre-training of these trainees, because they already have the qualification they need. It will reduce the need to train new employees from scratch, and that means reduction in training cost for the industry. To realize there's so much that you have to spend for all the new employees just to align with themselves with the current trends, and that will increase productivity and efficiency, and that's what the industry demands. How do we increase productivity and efficiency? And I believe with CBET we are going to do that. And of course, to the educational institutions, our TVETs, our TVCs, our national polytechnics, will be offering quality and relevance of these programs that we are offering, because they already align to the industry, and that will increase student satisfaction and retention. So when you're providing quality curriculums, trainings, skills, then you expect increased student satisfaction. Of course, you'll be measuring this almost every term just to see if your students are satisfied, and that will attract more funding and resources. As you realize, CBET is resource intensive, and therefore we're looking at attracting more funders to come and support CBET. And you have seen this with CBET training, the Seeker in coming in, Young African Works, and many others. Of course, the government playing a key role when it's coming to rolling out CBET in our institution. So next time you're going to look at how we're able to align our curriculum to fit the industry requirement. So I believe that is for today. Tomorrow we'll be looking at something else, a continuation of industry alignment, how we are able to develop occupational standards, our curriculum, looking at our curriculum development process, and many others. So I believe we are gaining knowledge as we move on, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so that you're able to be notified. And for those who have subscribed, thank you for your support. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.